2011, that was the year. The stage is set. Robert Downey Jr., Mel Gibson are on stage at an awards ceremony. And Robert Downey Jr. is getting an award and he stops. He stops the entire crowd. And if you remember this, He gets up there and he does a public thank you to Mel Gibson for, quote, allowing him to hug the cactus. Now, had no clue what that meant when I first heard it, but as soon as I heard it, I had to learn more about it, because if Robert Downey Jr. and Mel Gibson are both talking about something, me personally, I'm going to pay attention to those successful humans because I like to learn from people. So the context behind that is the fact that in the 90s and in the 2000s, Robert Downey Jr. had a severe issue with addiction. And, Mel Gibson came along beside him and supported him. It helped him get sober, casted him in movies, gave him housing, really was a mentor, was a friend, the guy that you wanted in your corner. And I said, there has to be more people out there like that. There has to be like a thought pattern behind hugging the cactus. And I'm going to tell you my personal story. If you guys stick around, I will tell you my personal story in a abridged version of me hugging the cactus and what it meant for me and how it's transformed my life. But let's get into, life stories that you can put into your life right now. So how to hug the cactus. It's just a personal transformation of one set of thinking to another set of thinking. And you need to have practical and radical, and I mean radical ownership of this in your life. Now, you have to stop blaming outside circumstances, other people, current positions. Research shows individuals with an internal belief pattern that they really truly believe that they can control their destiny and their outcome are 67 times more likely to achieve long-term goals, both in their careers and in their personal lives, and not just leaving it up to dumb luck or other people, by the way. Productive discomfort is a phrase I don't like, because it's discomfortable. It's not comfortable to really talk about it. But that's where growth really happens. When you stop avoiding the things that make you squirm, and you really stare them down dead eye to dead eye, and you say, look, I understand I don't like you and you don't like me, and that's totally cool with me. But the clinical studies show a different thing. Once you identify that squirmy thing, that thing that you don't want to talk about in public or even private, you have to go through exposure therapy. And yes, exposure therapy means exactly what it sounds like. It means you're gonna get hugged. Physical contact. Now, why am I so emphatic about that? It's because when you go look at the studies that are done on this thing, it reduces anxiety, phobias, PTSD, stressors, anything really out there by 60% to 90%. These things, once you identify them, your brain is going to tell you, look, the cactus can't actually kill me. Stress levels, cortisol levels drop by 60 to 90%. That's a huge, massive drop. And I am personally, I can attest to this. It works. Here's the one that sucks the most, in my personal opinion. You got to audit your ugly. What does audit your ugly mean? It means the ugly inventory in your brain. Write down all of your past mistakes without excuses. Just boom, 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 boom. And by the way, there's probably a long list for all of us. So don't feel bad. We all have foobarred our lives at certain times with certain people, with certain circumstances, with certain opportunities. We've done it. Okay. So audit your ugly inventory. Journal about the stressful or traumatic experiences. Again, writing it exclusively. Do not cheat on this. Me, I'm dyslexic, so I love to do voice to text, right? Because it's easier for me. But there's something that really shifts in your brain. When you go pen to paper, it goes from hypothetical to tactical and tangible, because you can physically are writing it out. Your brain is tracking that and putting it from mind to paper. You're going to see a 23% improvement in your immune systems alone. You're going to see a reduction in psychological distress. You're going to stop beating yourself up about this, because your brain is going to say, okay, this is hypothetical, to this is real. I can deal with this. Now, most guys, when I do this, most guys, we're fixers, right? We want to fix something. Now you got a project. Ladies, you didn't hear that from me. But that is really one of the best things, is really to go out there and just really take inventory of the ugly things in life. It maybe have been a divorce, a breakup, a bad business deal. You went to war. You saw some really unfun things. You have a stressful job. Whatever it is, audit the ugly, write them down. 23% improvement, guys. Keep that in mind. Okay. Then you have to commit to the long-term consistency of doing work, right, on yourself, around your environments and everything else. Robert Downey Jr. He didn't change right away. He stayed in his pain locker, or his pain cave, his discomfort, whatever you want to call it. It takes on average 66 days to form a new resilient habit. Now, most people say, "Oh, habits in 21 days." I just said the word resilient habit. And if you can commit to something for 66 days, studies on behavior shows that people who anticipate slips, you're going to screw up, okay? And view them as part of the whole process, are twice as likely to succeed versus others who go out there and say, "Well, meow, I knocked it out of the park on the first run." No, you have to anticipate the slips, the fallbacks, the uh-ohs, like, "Gosh dang it, I did it again," kind of a thing. That's fine. That's part of it. You're twice as likely to succeed. And I don't know about you, I will take a slip up for twice the likelihood of getting to my end goal. That's what you're doing this for. You're not doing it for giggles. Come on, get real about that. All right, this is the last one. You have to build a cactus-proof support system. Now, what does that mean? That means, like Mel Gibson did to Downey Jr., right? He put his face right in front of the truth. He rubbed, like a dog who does meows in the house, nose in the meows. You got to show somebody what's going on. They have to face the truth. Now, I'm not actually saying physically put their nose in excrements. What I'm saying is this. Once you or someone else really face the truth, according to the American Society of Training and Development, you have a 95% chance of reaching your goal. But you have to have an accountability partner or mentor to walk through the fire with you. Now, having that person next to you is the single most important thing, in my humble opinion. Why it's important is this. When you slip, when you fall, when you regress, when you go back into that dark pain cave in your mind, you have that person to pull you out of it, walk beside you, be your friend, sharpen you. Let you can bounce ideas off of them. They can get you back on track. Trust me, I've done this. Now, I told you I was going to tell you my story a little bit. So, in my past, I have had a very large drinking problem. I was drinking more than probably anybody should ever drink. I was drinking at least a handle plus a day. And then I would have more beers at night. And I did this for nearly 10 years. It took its toll on me, and now I'm perfectly fine. I'm healthy. There's no problem with it. But getting through that took people around me. I had to have my cactus-proof support system. I had close friends, siblings, parents, business partners. They all showed up. Sometimes I didn't want them to show up, but they showed up. You have to get those people in there that speak truth to your life, because once you see that there's light at the end of the tunnel, I guarantee you, guys and gals, you can get through this. I got through it. I have beat drugs, smoking cigarettes, and alcohol, and I did them all in one day each, because the pain was not worth the cost on my life or my body. But what was worth it was on the other side of that pain, other side of that struggle, other side of that gap, that crevasse in life. Oh, I can't have a drink. Oh, I can't do this. I can't have a cigarette. I can't do fill in the blank. Have a extra 10, donuts, whatever. The pain has to be less than what you want on the other side. All of a sudden, doing hard drugs, literally quit in about 35 seconds after I heard one comment. Cigarettes. I smoked for 20 years. Same thing. Quit. Bam. Done. Literally. Never touched them again. After 20 years of smoking 2 packs a day or 1.5 packs a day, whatever. And then hard alcohol, my best friend in my mind. I quit that. I haven't drank in a long time. And I mean nothing. I mean, like coffee and water is my go-to these days, right? What's your cactus? Where's your support staff? How do you plan on moving forward through this? Take a look at the numbers that I just posted in this video. Prioritize them immediately and move forward. The world needs you to show up, just like I need you to show up, and you need me to show up for you. Guys, gals, we all work together. Hug the cactus. Become better. I believe in you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Boom, peace. We out.